Hey everybody, we are here at the Contest Prep Center at Team Elite Physique headquarters to train legs wellness style. So I'm going to take you through a few things that I usually do for my workout. Again, not every workout is created the same. I have different leg days with quad dominant days, hamstring dominant days, and I also keep my glutes separate only now. But every single thing that I'm going to take you through today is kind of a little bit of an explanation, from sets to reps to time under tension, which is one of my favorites for the wellness division. So yeah, let's get to it. We're going to start the day with some foam rolling, some stability ball hamstring curls, and some bridges. These are a really great way to get your body warmed up specifically for your lower body day workout. Stay tuned. All right, I always start my lower body days with loosening up my tissue. It's really good for self-myofascial release, which is the reason for foam rolling. It's a great way to get the Golgi tendon organs deep down on the inside cellular level to relax. The foam roller gives them a little bit of that heightened alert feeling, and then about 35 to 45 seconds into the movement, they will actually relax and release. So it's a great way to start your leg days. Keeps you loose, hurts sometimes, but what doesn't? Sitting onto our roller, rolling out our glutes. I then roll them individually because each glute is slightly different depending on what side you pose on. If you have any hip imbalances, in my case I have hip dysplasia, so I literally have two different hips, which requires me to train two different ways. All right, so for today's warm-up, I'm going to be doing 2 sets of 15 reps of both hamstring stability ball curls as well as stability ball bridges. So it's gonna be a superset. I'm doing 15 reps of each. I'm taking about a 35 to 45 second break in between each exercise. And at the end of both of my exercises, I'm taking a full minute rest. Okay, so for leg extensions, the variation I'm going to be doing is a first set of 12 reps with about 4 seconds under tension on the way down. That's gonna be for 3 sets of 12, and that's gonna be immediately superset with single leg extensions for an additional single leg 12 and 12. But from there, we're also gonna be keeping the time under tension to about 3-ish seconds. So this is all about time under tension, working through the muscle, feeling the contractions. Do not rush this exercise. There's a reason for it to be this way. All right, so we're gonna be doing a set of 21s on the lying hamstring curl. For those of you not familiar, 21s are a set of 21 reps within a set, but you're not doing full ranges. The first 7, you're doing the bottom third. The next set of 7, you're doing the top third, and then the last set of 7, you're doing the full range of motion. The other thing to make note of when you're doing any sort of lying hamstring curl exercise is do not ego lift. Make sure you're putting the appropriate weight. You don't want to be lifting your glutes every time you need to do a leg curl, right? So it's important to make sure that your hips are flat against the pad, you're tilting your pelvis inward, you're maintaining a neutral pelvis the whole time before you're actually starting the movement of the weight. From there, you will have very little problems with your lower back. Before I even begin, I make sure my hips are even. From there, see I'm hyperextending now? I make sure that I'm activated in my glutes, because as I go to do my first rep, my pelvis does not change at all. And that's the main important focus point whenever you're doing lying hamstring curls. So for the leg press exercise today, this is usually accompanied or followed by isometric legs of either hamstring curls, quads, or both. Wellness leg structured days should really be set up to train your legs. If you're constantly training legs 4, 5, 6 days a week, how are you actually going to recover and build the muscle that you need? So I see a lot of wellness competitors out there who are like, yeah, I train legs 5 days a week. Do you? I'd really hope not, because then you're not gonna change. So with that being said, this is a very, very structured leg day. There's hardly any isometric glute work here. Sure, your glutes are working secondarily, assisting in the other big muscle groups that are moving, but for the most part, we're not training it isometrically. Today's leg press is going to be focused on, again, time under tension, both down on the concentric and out on the eccentric. We're gonna go for about 3 seconds down and about 3 seconds up, focusing on more of a sumo stance, so we're getting more hamstring and glute development and focus. All right, one of my favorite supersets of the day right now is a dumbbell Bulgarian split squat into, well, single leg obviously, and then going into a hack squat good morning. The reason why I love this pairing is because, again, when we're on stage as a wellness competitor, we're trying to show our hamstrings and our glutes. Anytime you can get a chance to pair a contraction with an elongation of a muscle, you're really gonna get maximal growth. And these are one of my favorite supersets right now. You feel the pump. I'm sure my clients hate it, but you know what? The more you do it, the more you're gonna love it. So start today. All right, so now that took my breath away, we're gonna go into something I would consider an active recovery. It's probably not for most people, but it's better than Bulgarians. We can all agree that. Hack squat, we're gonna be facing inward, and we're going into a hip hinged Good morning movement. Activating your hamstrings and glutes the entire way down. I tend to go a little bit slower on the way down, a little bit more quicker on the way out. I also tend to turn my feet slightly outward to emulate my back pose. If I'm standing a certain way on stage, why wouldn't I want to activate those muscles in my workout the same way? All right, so thank you so much for coming along with my workout today. Generally, I save all accessory work like calf raises, seated or standing rather, usually for the end, and those would be about 4 to 5 sets of 10 or 12. But everything, as you saw, was a lot of compound movements today, really focus on the quads, really focus on the hamstrings, and really, really focus on the time under tension. So I hope you learned something, and come back and join me anytime.